guys, welcome back to my channel. I just want to give a disclaimer. This video is not a debate video. It is just my personal opinion, and here's why. And I don't want this video. I'm not going to be bashing other candidates in this video, and I'm not going to be going back and forth with people. If you want to leave me a comment on why you like Elizabeth Warren or why you prefer somebody else over her, respectfully, that is fine. Go ahead and leave that comment. People that come at me in an attacking way or just tell me I'm wrong, I'm probably just not going to respond to you. I think there are multiple qualified candidates, and at the end of the day we can only pick one, and this is just my chosen one at this time in this race because everybody keeps asking me, and it feels like no matter who I say I like, I'm gonna get attacked because no candidate is perfect. And even people say things against Elizabeth Warren, and I hear you and I understand and I can respect that, but she is my chosen candidate, and I want to touch on a couple things of why. I think I've made it very clear that I think this is the year for a woman to run. I'm voting for a woman in the primary. That doesn't mean if a man gets elected I won't vote for him in the general. I of course will vote for whoever gets that nominee in the general. I want to make that very clear because at the end of the day, even if it's a candidate I don't like, to me what it's going to come down to is Supreme Court seats, and we cannot have the Supreme Court go conservative. So anybody else who has that thinking, I've seen multiple people for multiple candidates be like, I'm this candidate or bust. That's not good because we need to fill those seats. If we just don't show up to the election because we're mad at who got that spot, we're gonna give it to Trump, and the repercussions of that and having a conservative Supreme Court is terrifying. So let's not do that. Let's get together as a country, as women, and elect a woman in the primary, and then it won't be a problem. But if by chance it doesn't go according to what I want, I'm not gonna cry and whine about it. I will roll my fucking eyes, but I will show up and I will vote because I'm an American and I feel like that is my duty as an American. Another thing I want to touch on is why I don't have Harris as my first pick. I don't want to bash Harris. I'm not gonna bash her. I have a lot of respect for her. I think she's a top contender. I would not mind seeing her there, but there are a couple reasons. I'm not even gonna go into all of them, but there are just a couple things that are the reason why she's just not my top pick, and I understand that a lot of people do have her as your top pick, and I completely respect that. I'm not gonna bash you on that, and I'm not gonna tell you why you shouldn't have her as your top pick, honestly. So I would appreciate the same respect back, and the fact that, you know, these are both amazing women, and I happen to prefer Warren for different reasons, and I hope we can just respect each other on that. I, again, am not gonna bash her, but I just want to say there are just a couple things that's rubbed me the wrong way. Her bill to criminalize truancy, I felt affected single moms, people of color, and poorer communities at great lengths, and you know what, it just rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. Some of her supportings of ICE policies I have not liked either, and there's just a couple other things, and I'm only saying that to let you guys know that I didn't just, you know, be like, no, I like Warren and I have no reason. I have looked at them both, and I personally prefer Warren, but I would not mind seeing Harris wipe the floor with Trump up there. So can we just all respect each other in that fact? I really just want a woman, and this is still early in the game, and this is my top pick now. So here are just a few reasons of why Warren has gotten my top pick so far. Again, this can change. There's a lot of debates. I'm not gonna say, hey, I'm just gung-ho locked in on Warren. I probably am, but I'm also not a closed-minded person, and I am watching every single debate, watching the debates even Warren isn't on, because I want to know what everybody's saying. That's important to me. It's important to me to see other people challenge others and how they deal with that and their answers for that. That is part of the process. I'm not just going Warren, 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 and I'm not going to listen to anyone else. I think that's very ignorant, and that's how we get people like Trump. One of the reasons I really like Warren is she has a policy aimed to fight the higher death rates against Black women when it comes to giving birth. This is something I have spoken on as a feminist, that the fact that Black women are dying in much higher rates in childbirth is a huge problem. It's a lot of times something that is fucking just swept under the rug, and that's serious. We live in America, like we live in the United States of America. We preach that we're like the best at everything, but when you look at maternal deaths, we're really not. And especially when you look at maternal deaths when it comes to Black women, it's not acceptable. And I want a candidate who is going to acknowledge that that's a fucking problem and aim to do something to fix it. I personally really like her 2 cents plan. I know there is some disagreement on that. I really like it. I especially like, you know, I feel like it's very fair. She is letting people keep their first 50 million untouched, and then her tax plan goes in effect after your first 50 million. I think it's very fair. I think when I hear her crunch the numbers, you know what? I think it can work. I think it's brilliant. And so I'm personally someone who is a fan. I've listened to that plan and I was like, you know what? I like that plan. I'm behind that plan. And that is another reason why she is my top pick. I mean, to me, she has well thought out plans for everything. A lot of candidates you see on both sides of the fence, a lot of times they say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and you ask them how they're gonna do it and they kind of dilly-dally around it until they're onto a whole nother subject of not answering your question. And she lays out a flat plan. And I really respect that. There's that saying like Warren has a plan for that. It's true. She has a plan for everything. She's not just bullshitting. I mean, I can't know that 100%, but I truly feel like she's not. And my belief in that and my trust in her makes me have her as my first candidate pick. Her record of actually getting things done also makes me more confident in her as a choice. I don't think she's gonna say something and not do everything in her power to actually get it done, because her record shows that she goes after things and she gets them done. She's a go-getter, and I love that in a woman, I love that in a person, and we need that in a president. If you look up who's written the most laws when it comes to Senate Democrats, she comes up in 5th place, tied with a few other members. If you look up who's introduced the most bills, she comes up in 8th place. She's not sitting in the Senate just twiddling her thumbs. I mean, we have people in Congress that you're kind of just like, have they ever done anything? Or are they just there for a paycheck? Do they care about anything? She's not one of those, and I really respect it. I truly believe her when she speaks that she is going to go after the Washington corruption. I don't think she's another politician just throwing that out there because a lot of people know that this is a serious problem and she wants to get the votes. I think she has the bravery to do it. You can tell when she's speaking that she has the determination to take them down. And she's always shown on the record, always been there fighting to keep Wall Street accountable. Like, you look at the history and it just matches up with what she's saying, and I have a lot of respect for it. I really think she wants to go after the big guys that are taking advantage of the little guys. I truly believe it. She's personally conducted groundbreaking research on the relation between healthcare costs and personal bankruptcy, and I don't know who's like, if you'd have to be living under a rock not to know that healthcare in this country is a huge problem right now. You'd have to be living under a rock to not know that there are so many Americans who don't have it. And that's terrifying and unacceptable. We're the United States of America, and people are walking around that don't have health care. People are getting sick and they're going into bankruptcy because of it. The healthcare issue going into this election, to me, is a huge issue. So that, again, makes me pick her as my top pick, because that is one of my top issues going into this. Those are just some of the reasons why she right now is my top contender, and if we had to vote tomorrow, she is who would get my vote. Again, I say this with all due respect to all of the candidates, and I hope that you guys respect what I'm saying. We are all different people. We are not all going to agree on something. There are so many candidates running. This is just the primary, and you guys keep asking, so here's my answer. I'm not gonna apologize for it. So I hope this answered everybody's question. I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of hate. Sadly, not just from conservatives, but I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of hate from liberals too, which is pretty sad, but whatever, what are you gonna do? If you're not following me on all my social media, they will be linked below. If you're not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Not only are we talking about feminism, but with this election coming up, we're gonna cover a lot of things on, you know, how the women are being covered and all that. I wanna dive into that, because let me tell you, the women aren't being covered at the same lengths the men are. And we're gonna get into it, so there's gonna be a lot of good talk coming this next, oh god, we are so far off from this election, it's so early. It's gonna be a long road, guys. Anyways, hit that subscribe button. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time, stay kind, everyone.